to you guys about the tips for tipping. In the state of Texas, the federal minimum tipped wage is enforced, which means employees who work on tips such as servers and delivery drivers, wage starts at $2.13 an hour, which means on average people go home with less than $20. My name is Jeannie Stone, and I'm here to talk to you about the reality of tipping and give you some helpful hints for your next order in or the next time you go out. I've been employed since the age of 16 in the last 3 years at a large pizza joint. I'm a delivery driver and a manager. I'm going to give you some tips on tipping and how your 20% can really change someone's life. Today I'll talk to you about the types of servers, how much money we really make, and share some tips on tipping your waitstaff. There are 3 types of servers. There are the Olive Garden servers, the delivery drivers, and the Jamba Juice servers. The first server is the ones that wait on you for over an hour, don't complain about you, and keep your drinks ready, and they try not to spit in your food. The second one is the delivery driver. You may not see us for more than 5 minutes at a time, but we're there. We answer your phone calls, we make your orders, put it in the box, and we take it to you. And then the last one is the ones you interact with for maybe 10 minutes at a time. You give them their drink order, they write your name, they call your name, and then you leave. From that, you go to how much we really make. On average, we make less than $20 a check. For some of us, like managers, we make more than that, but that's because we're on a higher pay scale. Most managers make somewhere between $9 and $12 an hour, so they come out with higher checks, whereas waitstaff starts at $2.13 an hour, and so what happens for them is they have 4 tables, say at a time, and say only 4 people give them a tip. And of that tip, you take it out of check, you take it for taxed, and all tips on credit cards are taxed 10%. So when you bring that down to a check, say you make $10 on an average shift for wages, you only really make about 4. Then it comes to your delivery drivers. On average, they're tipped less than restaurant servers. And I think that's because you only deal with them at 5 minutes at a time, and you don't really see all the work that they put in. I'm there answering your phone call, making your food, putting it in the box, and delivering it to you. I'm making sure that if your pizza came out wrong, that it's going back in the oven, and they're fixing it. I'm making sure that, all your dip cups are in place, and all your sodas are there with you. Yet, when I get to your door, you say, I really appreciate it, and I only get a $2 tip. How much do you appreciate it if you're only giving me $2, which is less than 10% of your order? Yet you appreciate servers who you see the entire time. You just see me less, but we do the same job. And lastly, we come to the Jamba Juice servers. These are the people you interact with, they write your name on the cup, and you go. I mean, they don't do as much, but it's still served tipping and they're still considered tipped workers. So $1 for every drink you get from them is a reasonable tip. When it comes to delivery drivers and their tips, you should do $5 or 20%. And how you get 20% is you take your decimal and you move it over 1 and then double it. That's how you get 20% for delivery drivers. So you do 5 or at least 20%, depending on which one's more. And another way that you can add to your delivery driver's tip is if you live in an apartment, for every flight of stairs that your delivery driver goes up, you should add $1. Or bad weather, or which is super hot, super cold, or raining, because they're out and you're not. And then for servers, depending on your service, if you have great, fantastic service, you should give 20%. Again, you just move your decimal over, and then you double it. And if you get okay service and you see that they're trying really hard, then what you do is you give 10%. You just move the decimal over. And a lot of the time, it helps them, because it just gives them encouragement to work harder. I hope you take your new information and use it the next time you go out. I know when I learned that the servers make as little as $2.13 an hour, it made me change my tipping ways. Because who can live on $2.13 an hour? Be merry, eat great food, and tip your server. You could be changing their life.